several of these guys up here, and this is a huge honor, so guys, congratulations. Enjoy the day. This is pretty awesome. So, let's start about Reid. Getting into an argument with Reid is like pushing against a brick wall for an hour. The longer you push, the more ignorant you just end up feeling. So, as Reid's football coach, I had the luxury of wearing a whistle. Just cut them off and tell everybody to regroup or go down the hill or whatever it may have been. But the first time I met Reid it was quite an interesting weekend. I coached baseball as well. I was coaching baseball in the summer, and the guys at the football team was at UCM, and normally we don't allow a lot of freshmen to go, but for that year we didn't have the numbers that we needed for the varsity guys, and so we're like, yeah, if these guys, have been here for weight training and stuff like that, let's go ahead and get them going and see if they can, really buy into the program and see what happens. Well, one freshman already broke a window, so that wasn't good, and came up with a nickname for him very, very quickly. But I've heard some hilarious stories about Reid that I'm not going to share today, unfortunately. Coach Jones filled me in the first 15 minutes I got there, and it was pretty funny. But I came into the common room in the dorm, and I just was walking around looking for some former football players to kind of catch up with since I hadn't seen them in a few months over the summer. And Reid was just sitting there by himself. And like if the TV is there, it's on just whatever cable channel for UCM, and Reid's like sitting 90 degrees, not looking at the TV or anything. Okay, what's going on with this guy? Extended my hand, introduced myself, and he said, "I'm Reid." So this is good. And super serious. Couldn't really put anything on it. So. I didn't really know how to interpret the situation, trying to, fall back on an easy question, get to know him a little better. I said something like, you ready for the season to start? And he screams, "Sir, yes, sir!" And then he just goes back to being cool and sitting there. It was pretty funny. Again, didn't really know how to interpret it, so he came back very slowly. This is going to be an interesting year, and it really was. Reid was part of a really character-filled, hard-working team that I coached, not this fall, but last fall. All of them really loved football, but they all had really strange idiosyncrasies. Reid wasn't alone by any means with that. But after finding out that I taught science, Reid became further interested in getting to know me as well. And he would try to argue about things like string theory on water breaks. When everybody else is, just kind of angry at us in general for the first couple of weeks and how much running we're doing, trying to push them pretty hard. And Reid's really interested in, all these, different topics of science, which was really interesting to me. But, all the other guys were talking about, video games and girls and God knows what. But he let me know kind of the character that he had immediately, which I really respected. So. When Reid became long-winded, I did blow that whistle and said, let's go ahead and move on here. Got the impression, very early that arguing with him wasn't going to be a productive scenario. When I start coaching football every season, I've studied a lot of psychology in college, was a science major, and read enough Erickson to know that young men especially need to have a breaking down of oneself, so to speak, before they really start to really kind of understand a little more about themselves and where they fit in the commonplace if they're on a team or working at a job. And Reid completely understood that from the beginning. I think there are two paths for anywhere if Reid was going to choose any path anywhere, whether it be to go to like a grocery store or to just a proverbial path of life. Reid would choose the hardest one intentionally just to say that he could do it, and because he can persevere through pretty much anything. I think that he also loves being pushed to his breaking point, which is a testament to his character as a young man. And that was really cool to see from the get-go because he wasn't the most athletically gifted person on the field, but he never complained about any little thing. He did yell at a lot of guys, which I thought was pretty good, you know, in terms of his leadership as well. Not just because I'm a yeller, but also because you know, they needed it, and they needed that voice of leadership, which I really respected from day one. Most kids go through a period where they really hate me for a few weeks because of how hard that I push them. And I think Reid just kind of fell in the group that is just a very limited amount of kids that I've coached that fall into this group that from day one just can't get enough of the punishment, especially, which also is kind of strange but good. And I like that about Reid, that he will always do whatever it takes to get the job done, especially in a team effort when people depend on him. And that's something, again, that's a testament to his character. As we all know, you could question his arguments, but there's really no questioning his intelligence. Being on a football team, especially like that, can drive an intelligent person like Reid crazy. He's forced to run extra with the team, especially on Thursdays, when his teammates acted inappropriately or dressed out of uniform on Wednesdays, or even, you know, looked at me wrong. We called those stupid hills. Due to the interesting manner of many of the characters on the team, we ran a lot of stupid hills. But Reid never complained. He never complained about the heat, and he never wanted to break, even though it looked like several times he was about to die on the field. The positive influence that he had on his teammates, he could get away with saying a lot of things, and he still can get away with saying a lot of things to people because they know it comes from the heart, and they know he's just pushing you to go a little bit harder. He's not trying to be an outward jerk about it. And so I think Reid and I are a little unlike like that. But he always tried to motivate people, and I love that can-do attitude without the I'm better than you attitude that he embodies. Never uses a dismissive tone or anything like that. I know he's only played football for a few years, but it's clear that his leadership skills are very strong. Again, he knows that he's athletically limited on the field, and so he accepts the job of being an offensive lineman with humility, and as well as an opportunity to be able to hit somebody on every play. And that's the way he likes it the most. Reid gives everything he can in any endeavor, not just football, but also in school. I'm pretty jealous that I didn't have him in class this year after getting to know him so well last year. But I like to pop into class when I know Reid's in a certain class just to see what random arguments he can come up with. The advantage, again, of being a football coach with Reid's is that stubbornness comes into the game of football. So his stubbornnness shows when he plays. You know, last time I saw him play in a JV game, he got a personal foul. You know, the defending one of his teammates, he's a little upset about it right now, if you couldn't tell. It's a stubborn man's game, it's a violent game. And just like any topic that he's interested in, as you watch him play, you can tell that he's not going to back down. I think the athletic endeavor especially is nice to see Reid in because academically he's going to excel. And he's going to do remarkable things in the classroom and you know, kind of blow your mind in the classroom. But athletically, he doesn't win every time. And so I think that's really frustrating to Reid because if he's not successful, he'll at least learn something about himself along the way. It's a frustration for him, I think, that you know, he might be successful 85% of the time, and that's still never good enough to him. And I like that about him. I've made Reid run until he puked. I've made Reid so angry I thought he was going to swing at me. But in the process, I grew to love his Nietzsche-like, Thomas Edison-like approach to life. If you really try something enough times, despite any horrible failure that you have, you'll either figure it out or you learn more about yourself in the process. You know, honestly, I've learned a lot about myself in coaching Reid, and I truly hope that I have positively influenced him as he has positively influenced me. I think all the people that have gotten to know Reid have in some way been influenced by him in a positive manner. It's a fantastic thing. Again, gentlemen, congratulations. This is a big day. I'm proud of you guys. And that's it for me.
This is in it's over 5 years. Yeah, it's a lot of it longer than 5 years. I still can't tell these guys apart. The only code I was ever given was by Kurt Day. He says,